should be back now. Yeah, so like I said a moment ago, I'm just going to be trying to chill out and have a nice and easy Sunday stream for maybe a couple hours if we can do, and just enjoy ourselves. So this is one of the lists I'm working on a lot of the time at the moment, as in, not that I'm putting work into it, but I really enjoy it. Hey Spooky, I figured there's a good chance you might end up here. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. So the list that I'm working on here is basically just sort of an Astra value list. You didn't follow yesterday? That's pretty entertaining actually. You're here for like a couple hours, we've been chatting for ages, and you're just like, nah, not worth a follow, I'll give that a miss. Okay, so what I think I'm going to do is just drop into a couple of games with this and just have a bit of fun and see what we can do. Oh yeah, you did, you had to go in a hurry, didn't you, after the game? But yeah, so I'm going to, a lot of the time with this list, I'm trying to play Shrapnel out on turn 2 with Astra, and then the rest of the game is focused around just sort of, playing whatever is appropriate at the time. Hey Jester, how you doing? Nice to see you, man. I'm just going to be, like I said, playing this list. It's one that I enjoy a lot. It's, like I said, no means a meta list, but I think it's one of the ones that does have a chance to hold its own. Yeah, I'm not too bad, thank you. Just having a nice bit of a chill time on a Sunday evening. It's just coming up to 9 PM here, so probably a little bit earlier most parts of the world. I think for Spooky it's probably just gone lunchtime, but I figured Sunday night, why not just relax, enjoy yourselves. 3 PM, okay, late lunch. But yeah, I just wanted to sort of jump in. I've also seen that Bricky is streaming again as well, so it's a shame I'm having to overlap that, because Bricky is obviously so Jester, which country are you based in? Like, I've never actually asked, I've just sort of heard you speak and like tried to guess from an accent, but I'm pretty terrible at accents, so I never usually actually make that assumption. But yeah, I saw Bricky was streaming after, so yesterday the game Bricky had was, I think it was an hour long. I mean, like, I've got a guess, but I don't like guessing, so I'd rather you tell me rather than me make a guess and it turn out to be wrong. I'm one of those people that I don't like to guess things about people, like I won't guess someone's... No, won't do it. I won't guess a nationality, I won't guess an age, I won't guess anything along those lines. I'd rather leave that to the person to make it clear if they wish to, because it's so easy. Okay, I'm gonna guess that you are from Nauru. Are you from Nauru? That'll be my guess. I'm not gonna condone going for anything more than that. I'm gonna go for a guess of something completely ridiculous. Like I said, it's one of those things that I just prefer not to do guessing on those fronts, because there's so many different things that can happen. I forgot to change my Astra again. Are we against Bricky then? Let's see. I mean, I don't want most of this. It could be Cinder Infusion, Stim Burst, kind of like that. Yeah. So, that is what... Hey, it's Bisbee! Hey, Bisbee! How you doing, buddy? Yeah, so German is what I would have guessed, but I don't want to. I don't like to assume these things. It's not my style. Oh, Spooky! The hatch is a top tier pick if that's what you're going for. Because Jester, in case you're wondering, Spooky is currently looking at building an armor list, so hyper defensive. And I think that's a pretty fun way of doing things. So, one of the things I like is if they play in Maximus, there's actually a couple of things that you can even like haste out and have some fun interactions with. So, in some of my games, I've actually had Plink here, and then I've just used Into the Breach to haste out a Plink target and just go for it from there. But what I want to do this time, if possible, is see... I'm not quite in range, so I quite often like seeing if I can get a good angle with a shrapnel, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it up here, because I want to make it so that Extilio can't really get to me, and see what I can minimise the angles that they can hide from me in. So you can... Also, Jester, I've been to Germany a total of 1 time, however, it was a great experience. I went to Cologne, or Cologne, and I loved it. It was for a friend's stag do or bachelor party or whatever you want to call it, and it was a very enjoyable experience. We had lots of nice food, lots of beer, as you can imagine, and climbed up the cathedral. It was an ongoing joke with my friends that I didn't make it to the top, but most other people did, so they just laughed at me for that for a little while. But all in all, it was a very entertaining time. Okay, so Bisbee's running away from me, as to be expected. Ooh, this looks like it's going to be a Beatrice. There's no one who places something here and it's not a Beatrice. Yeah, there we go. Now what I'm looking to do here is trying to see if I can get line of sight around here, which I can't, so we're going to be stim bursting. Interesting enough, I'm almost considering stim bursting to like here to hit Extilior and Maximus. Like, I don't really know what the right play is here, but I feel like Shrapnel's tough enough to sort of stick this out a little while. That was in range when I left it. Oh, I just give up. Today has not been my day. I have honestly been making such misplays constantly, and I can't figure out why. I was convinced I was in range of Maximus there. Like, absolutely sure of it. I didn't think it was even a question. So let's just pop over here. What a donut. It's your first day in the game. You're allowed to have misplays on your first ever day in the game. Let's pop Rickety and Maximus down. They're in different locations. And we'll try and protect Maximus.
Never fear.
There we go. Yeah, but Jester, if you'd have seen my game earlier that I actually recorded and uploaded to YouTube, an Extilior game I played, I threw away a game that was won about 3 times in a row, and absolutely just threw all my chances out the window over and over again. It was unbelievably bad. Because I figured there was a good chance they might just be attacking through shrapnel. So I do think that Max, basically, because they've only got one range unit, I figured it would probably be safer on Max because I can kite with him better than I can. She is so hard to kill, but she's also the only one that's going to be taking damage. I figure Maximus is probably going to be able to just run around not taking damage unless something like this happens.
Paradoxes give pause.
Maybe I was wrong. Like, she is really hard to kill, but this is going to be a fun thing to start shrapneling with, though. So yeah, this is obviously a good choice for them. This is a list that I played... sorry, I built this before I realised quite how good Quetzali is. I've got other versions with Quetzali as well. Yeah, shrapnel I just love. I think shrapnel's great fun. Yeah, so there was like a notification, like a little sort of thing showing you like if it would hit, but only when you're trying to attack. The actual range indicator is so much nicer now. Let's go with this and just shoot a bunch of stuff. This seems like a pretty good shot with shrapnel. Okay, we did get all the hits.
You're gonna get both my heart's attacks.
Why is the circle going away exactly when I want to use it to check my ranges? I don't think that's going to be in range, but like, it makes a big difference whether it is or isn't, because that changes what I even attack.
You're counting on us.
Oh, interesting. No circle, not in range. See, I'm glad I'm with someone who knows what's actually going on some of the time, because I certainly don't. What have we got left in our bridge? I mean, we could just hasten Esley somewhere. I mean, that's probably just it.
We need ya.
Let's just
Creating a challenge.
let's go with this.
Should blind mourners.
Pop an attack over there. More attacks over here. One over here.
Your Majesty.
I'm just going to throw the 3 damage away because I think he's going to die otherwise. Yeah, I don't think... Oh, it didn't explode. That's actually good. Like, I don't think there was a world in which Rickety lives the next turn, but I figured I might as well just use the 3 damage rather than lose it. Okay, so... Oh yeah, because they have to get all the way around. So Rickety's obviously going to die here, but I just wanted to use the damage in a hurry. I've not played this list particular. Like, also, it's really noticeable. Like, of all the units I've played with, Rickety is the one where I'm noticing the lack of movement speed the most. Because obviously, previously, we could actually just jump across to things and get into melee range really quickly. Now that that's changed, it's a really noticeable difference. Yep, they're going to just start hitting us in the face. So this is... I'm kind of okay with it because we've got hops and we can start just trying to block things off. Like Astra can hop over terrain like here, which is, as I'm sure you're aware, exactly what Bricky did versus Extilio. Well, sorry, what Astra did versus their Extilio the other day, yesterday.
Increased gravity.
Yep, so they're going to go for...
Please,
Ooh, they hit quite early. Brutal. What's their play?
Do not squander.
Okay, they didn't get a play up. Can we get into range of both of these? If we can, we will. Oops, I pressed the wrong button. Well, that was a mistake again. What is going on with me today? Let's just try and... Okay, let's just do this. Extilio needs to have a bit of an unhappy time. Explosion. Okay, good. At least Rickety did his job. Get some damage in here.
I'll make
Not
him proud.
2 against missing 1, so with 6 here. Anything we particularly want to into the breach? You know what, actually? What I do actually want to do here, which I know seems ridiculous, but I almost want to into the breach Beatrice and just use her to block up
Ready for swift
as much of this as possible. So we pop back here so we can still get a shot.
Gotcha.
Use Beatrice to block this off and get an attack. And then we'll pop Esley behind. We can't spend 2 Cinder, unfortunately. Move forward and just get our two damage in. It does mean we could die in the backswing, but it puts them low. I suppose actually into the breaching this was no different to actually just spending all our Cinder on something else, so it didn't really matter that much. I wonder if Cinder Infusion was actually ready last turn and I didn't use it. Okay, so they're going for the Scatter Vines. They're going to steal our Cinder. That's fine. If you were to spend 2 Cinder to steal 1 of mine, I'm okay with that. The question is can we get enough damage into them this turn?
than you think.
So this is 4 damage here, yeah. I don't think they've quite got
Every
enough.
day's full body day.
Even if they get in range, there's not enough damage coming through here, so we're pretty solid from this point. This should be 6 damage on its own, and then we've got shrapnel coming up from behind. I think I'm okay with this. Is this just going to be another Scattervine? I do like the new animation, if that's what it is. No, this looks like a drop.
Stronger together.
Oh, Aria, okay.
Resist them.
I've seen them using Stowaway as well, which is terrifying.
Always
Yeah, this is
a minor
all
result.
good, and if you spin here, then we're still not looking bad at all. Okay,
Well met, opponent.
so now we just...
They're counting.
We need to
on
find
us.
somewhere to go, so over here is probably the right place. We'll into the breach. Crosshair.
On time is late.
We'll spend a Cinder over here.
And now, your headliner.
Get this.
Stay sharp.
Through over here. Go for a big shot. Boom. There we go. Excellent. Happy with that. Pretty reasonable, pretty chill. Again, I really feel like Rickety doesn't belong in lists without Quetzali anymore. That didn't feel good. It felt painful. Without Stim Burst, I think Rickety would have been even more useless than normal. So what lists have I got that are half decent to play? I do like my Taria's Arsenal list. Did I... Yeah, this is the changed up version. So this one is basically a ridiculously aggressive start anyway. It's very similar to like the Rickety all-in list and that sort of thing. Yeah, Rickety really does need movement into the breach. But yeah, so this one basically starts the same as like your Rickety all-in list all the time, but then we get some really funny combos in the late game, so things like giving rapid fire to Crosshair or to Shrapnel or to Rickety, So this list does have Baito, Taria, and Rickety in it. So it's got the potential for the 20 damage Rickety if you corrosive them, and hit and explode for 4 each time, with corrosive taking it up to 5. So Baito and corrosive, which is a really fun way to say there is a world in which Rickety can one-shot an opponent, like, which is ridiculous. Because it's already a chance for 6. We double it up to 12, and each additional attack is then 4 more points. So Baito adds another 4 to 16, and then corrosive adds another 4 to 20. So yeah, Rickety's perfectly balanced. The fact that there is literally a combo in this list, it does take a few moving parts and a specific assist, but like, that's still easier to put together than Furia sitting back for turn after turn after turn. You know, it's still a far, far stronger finish. Plus, even if you just get most of it, all your other units can attack as well. You know, you're not just relying on Rickety to sit there and do damage. You've got loads of other sources coming in. But yeah, no, I really like this list. It's been good for me as well. Yeah, Furia is just... I think the taking damage, I'm not even sure if that even needs to happen. Like, does she really need to take damage from her own ability every time? Like, she could just not take the damage. I don't even think that would be too much of an issue. She's really squishy anyway. Oh, is it lore? I've not read the lore. I've not read her lore at all. Okay, so against another Extilior, I mean, we've got... Both of these are great, but personally I think Vortex is just a better ability. So, Vortex Ironstorm is my pick there. Jumple Bumper. I mean, that's a great name. Oh, she becomes more and more angry. Okay. Interesting. It's like I play Warhammer 40k, and it really surprised me when there's basically a lot of different things in the game have an ability where they take wounds, and their profiles get worse, so they get less movement speed, less attacks, you know, that sort of thing. They get worse with their guns to show that they're injured and they're weak and all that sort of thing. And there's like one unit, possibly a few, that the more damage they take, the more angry they get, and they start hitting things harder. And I was like, that is a real shock to me. When the first time I came into one, I thought I was going to be like, you know, making a defensive, like playing the defensive game by taking their stats down a little bit, and it turned out I was actually just setting myself up to take even more damage in future turns.
Where am I? I'm just kidding.
It was not ideal. So, interesting enough, I probably should have stayed further back, because looking at where this can move, it's probably just out of Vortex range, maybe? I wish even when you had Vortex, you could actually just hover over it, even if it wasn't your turn, to see where it can get to. But yeah, in this list here, so one of the things I quite often like to do is, if I can play far enough back, is on turn 2 to go for Taria and Rickety, because then you've just got a really fun turn ahead of you. You know, it's not the best thing you can do, but it's really fun. Usually I just go for Deadeye and Rickety, or Shrapnel if I need something that's going to survive, but I like to go Taria and Rickety wherever I can, because then we can just throw loads of damage at someone's face. And this version of the list does now run Quetzali, so we won't be able to do it quite yet, but at least make some progress. And if that's their placement, we've got no good lines of sight at all, so that's fine. Just double check anything. So, I mean, they're not really that much closer. Guess we just shoot over here. Oh, 0% anyway.
You're not worth the ammo.
Don't have a line of sight, so I'm literally just going to move back and I think spend some Cinder. And I think because of the way that this has gone, I am going to go for Rickety and Taria, because it's fun.
One guy's trash is another's trash.
One guy's trash,
Anyone
another's
want ammo?
trash. One of the reasons I'm doing this as well is because I can also give them minus to hit the following turn to make it more likely Rickety survives if he doesn't explode twice. And I could also just Vortex into range next turn if I need to, so we've got a good chance of dealing a lot of damage. Yeah, we've got the setup to potentially deal 12 with Rickety alone here, if Extilior moves forwards. I imagine they probably will, just because they're a level 0 player, but if they don't, that shows some good restraint. The one thing we are lacking in this list is like a proper front line, so it really is just Shrapnel. That's it. There's not much else to it. But we've got our pretty boat guy. Hey, pretty boat guy. Have they painted anything? Unlikely.
Where are
I can say gone for crankbait, that's fine. Come on, just move Extilior this way.
Paradoxes give
Moving forward. You know you want to.
Explosions are a fine art.
No, they've not. Okay, well let's just... Whole team minus accuracy then. I believe I hit everyone, yeah. I think I moved my mouse at the very last second there, so I wasn't quite sure if I hit everyone.
I've got plans soon.
So, what do we even want to do?
This moon's talking to me.
I almost want to just hide Rickety for another turn and just go for Quetzali next turn and just try and do things that way. So if I just place Rickety safely back here, we'll pop Deadeye in. In fact, what we'll do is we'll leave it so that... actually no, we want 2 Cinder. We want 7 Cinder next turn. So we're just going to pass it here, not do anything, and just go for the fun combo. I'm not going to try and do this for like the most hyper aggressive. I'm not going to go for like the win con. I just want to do fun stuff.
brilliant move.
So let's see how we do. Okay, so this is going to be Crankbait trying to come and pull something. I'm assuming they're going to pull Zax. That's why I've put Rickety here, so that it's harder to pull Rickety away. Next turn we can just throw Rickety out there and try and sort ourselves out, get huge amounts of damage, and then just not really care what happens after that. Oh, I forgot I had this next turn. I could have actually spent 2 Cinder.
King means I'm alive!
The fun thing about that going there is there's a good chance we just kill that with Rickety by accident when we're just trying to attack the captain. So what we're going to do is we're going to move Rickety in and possibly even just vortex these things around it and try and just deal the ultimate Rickety AoE. If we do, we might have to just like clip this and upload it as like a short to YouTube or something. Oh, please place one more unit. This is the Rickety turn. Come on, if there was ever a Rickety turn, this was it.
Drinks just come
So
right
we'll move forward first. We'll go here, just push this slightly closer.
Watch the boots!
We need to display. Okay, so where can Rickety move to? Not very many spots. So this looks about right.
Feel that cinder
So we go all the way in. Oh, hang
I've
on.
got plans soon.
Forgot to seize initiative for a second. Let's do that quickly.
Love a leisurely stroll.
Pop into here. Can we get slightly higher up without... Okay, so we might not get Detonia, but that's fine. This is all fine. There we go.
You're gonna get both my hearts
And the
attacked!
range is beautiful. Let's go with this. Come on. Come on, double explosion. No! We didn't get one of the explosions. Let's just take some pot shots then. Oh, I've already attacked. Oh, this is a nightmare. Maximus, do
I
something.
forgot my lucky cravat.
Oh, what sadness. Oh, that was actually so disappointing. Like, obviously we got, yeah, Extilior down to 11, so pretty good all in all, 9 damage, but I think we were hoping for a little bit more than that. And now we've just left them in range of everything. This has not been... Like, I think today I've genuinely forgotten how to play Moonbreaker just through and through. Like, every single game I think I've just forgotten how to play this game. Without a doubt. Not a single thing has been going how I'd expect it to. I've been missing things, I've been blocking units in. I think it's just one of those days. Ooh, you poked my potato. Wait, with a quick rotato potato. There we go, beautiful. I mean, Furion needs to just be running away now, because she's dead otherwise. Let's see if Extilior fancies joining the party. Oh, please do that. No, don't run away. Boo. How dare a new player play reasonably well? Infuriating. So, we're just going to probably play Vital and try and move into range to kill him next turn. We've still got a lot of damage. This is Nano... sorry, Stun... Oh, Disruptor. Okay. That's all fine. Now, here's the one thing that I know for a fact that Jester does significantly better than I do. And that is, Jester is way, way better at using quick volley. Have I actually...
Just look like you're thinking.
Come here. I'm just going to bash my head against the mic in shame. Okay, it turns out this is not a PvP stream. This is the hang my head in shame stream and just do something that I can cope with. This is what Sundays are for. We're not here to take things too seriously. Let's do another cargo run. Let's make it Astra. Oh, go on, Jester. I'll carry on PvP. I really have had quite a tiring couple of days, and my brain is absolutely fried. Go on, let's just carry on with this. No, I really am just happy to do whatever's entertaining, to be honest. I think as long as you don't mind watching my brain explode slowly and like you can watch a human being just crumble apart in slow motion, as if it's entertaining, that's fine by me. I am more than happy to. I was saying in my video I uploaded earlier, I have got no shame in in showing me failing miserably in different varying formats. Yeah, I've noticed that as sometimes that you can, well, I say I can find that as well. So what I tend to do is during your stream times is often when I'm recording my YouTube content. So I experience the same issues sometimes. It's not like, I wouldn't say I often get more than 20 minutes. But I think the thing we've got to bear in mind is that a lot of the players are US based, and with them being US based, they are about, I think it's 8 hours earlier than we are, or something like that. So I was talking to someone the other day, and it was 1 PM for me, which is a time I would quite often be recording. And when I was playing, when I was recording, they told me that for them it was 5 AM. So I was literally sat there trying to find games when for most of the player base it's 5 in the morning. It's like, yeah, that's probably a fair point in terms of not finding people. Yeah, exactly. What I've tried to do as well is, if I ever come across a streamer and I'm on the computer doing something else, if I come across a streamer running out of matches, like especially the sponsored streamers, I just try to hop in and just, have a go myself and try and take part. So I'm just like, I don't want them thinking that there's no, matches going on, because there often are. Hang on. Is this Bricky, the streamer? I think this is Bricky's Extilior, maybe? Bongi. No, it's not. What's this Extilior? This looks familiar to... No, because, his one, I think he hasn't painted it. This looks really familiar to me, and I can't figure out why. Maybe they've just painted it as a Necron. 12 is the best, isn't it? I always forget the stats there. Oh, boom, missed. So, I'm going to deploy really aggressively because I'm going first. But I'm okay with this because you can still move left and right if they deploy on top of me, but look how far this can move up now. It's mad. Absolutely mad. I love it. Yep. Come at me, Mr. Extilior. Try and trap me in place with your Maximus. That's not the place to put him, though. None of these are the place to put him. That's a good place. All that? Okay.
Me? I'm right over here.
So, obviously because of that, we're just going to go try and get one solid shot and move out the way. Make sure we are out of range.
Need a moment to take all this in.
There's not really a good shot here without getting very close to melee range anyway, so we could pull him out, but I actually think we just wait a turn, place Deadeye down, and not take the risk. So just take our butt shot from here. 10%, it'll do. If we hit that, it would be pretty good. But I'm okay with this positioning here. We'll just stick some range units out the back. Next turn, if they give us a chance, we'll absolutely just pop around the side and use our vortex to make sure we get better lines of sight onto things. Okay, what's going on here? Ah, nice. So I haven't got a chance to look at it yet, but it looks like the person who I played in the game where I was... ooh, Stimburst. They're going to kill Maximus. That's okay.
righteous intent.
But yeah, the person I was playing against, where I made a load of terrible decisions earlier, has actually commented on the YouTube video, so that's really nice, because I like seeing people that I've played against. That's got to be Beatrice. Yeah. Okay, and they've trapped... Like, this is insane how far this has moved. Like, Deadeye can't live. There's no world in which Deadeye actually lives here, whatsoever. Like, I can't do anything about it. All I can really do is take 2 damage off of that, or what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to Vortex this and just going to make them use Cinder to kill Deadeye. And I'm just going to use Deadeye over here to try and poke Extilio down. So just go full aggressive onto Extilio. Is there a way I can get out of Beatrice's range?
I'm the Cinder Whisperer.
I don't think there is, so we might as well just move. What's Extilio's range now? Okay, so if we move over here and poke, we might actually be out of the range. Yeah, so now we're out of range there. Now we can place our Rickety Backfire. They don't have any range units, so over here is indeed safe. And next turn we have got the Nano Shield. So if we wanted to, we could spend a bit... Hang on, did I just give them a line with Beatrice here? Maybe I did. So this takes away Quetzali, but... So I think we just accept this and figure that we're probably not taking enough to kill him. Okay, I was worried that it was a movement assist coming next. Hello to who the viewer is that's just joined us, by the way. Very glad to have you here. I was just slightly worried for a moment then that we were going to be taking... Yeah, so this is what we figured was going to happen.
We'll get them next.
That crit is actually really good news for us, because that means our opponent's going to run at us instead of running away. And if they'd run away, Rickety wouldn't be anywhere near as effective. So now we can move in, we can give it Nano Shield, we can play Taria. Do you know what we can also do actually here? So
This moon's talking to me.
I think I'm just going to shoot Extilio first. And move back here, make sure we've got...
It's not junk, it's experienced.
Yeah, so if we move here, get Extilio into range of that, we'll Nano Shield him. Because we can play Taria a little bit further down, and we've got Vortex next turn, so we'll just play Taria like here, outside of Extilio's range. What I'm actually going to do is just Gravity Disc Beatrice towards us as well, and go for even more damage on their units. Haven't used my attack ability. There we go. So let's just try and explode onto Beatrice. We are not getting any explosions today. Any at all. We don't have second wind or anything. 6 Cinder doesn't do anything if we want to potentially just do 3. Oh yeah, but he lets us play Amplify Bytel. So there we go. We'll play Bytel next turn, that's our big plan. Bytel and activate Taria in the same turn. With Vortex available, this should be quite easy. So Stim Burst is going to make them either run away or run towards us, not sure which. Second wind, yeah. So they're going to go for damage onto our captain, it looks like. But I think here we've just got the game tied up. Because Rickety is, in theory, going to deal up to lots. Lots is the maximum amount of damage I'd say Rickety can potentially deal next turn. So we are going to have to Vortex to bring it in down here, but that's absolutely fine. As long as it doesn't, you know... Yeah, so Antios isn't going to block us out of that. We can Vortex down here, and we should be able to get... Well, as a Freak would say... Ooh. So we're still going to be able to pull that out. That's good news, because their Beatrice is going to be closest. So we can get loads of damage here. It might be closer than I think. So let's just pull these two in this direction. Make sure we get nice and close. Seize initiative here. Can Taria get out of the range? Yes, she can. Perfect. Go for this. We need just one explosion here, really. One. Get a second hit. And we die. And we shoot. You know what? Let's take no risks. Let's move right into their face and shoot them to death. There we go. So we could have Bite-Old there as well, which is the other option, but we did work out we only need one explosion. If I'd have Bite-Old, we wouldn't have needed any. So that probably was right, but like I said, my brain is currently trying to fry itself on working out Moonbreaker things. So I think I'll probably do one more of these for the moment, and then after that I will probably do some cargo run or some painting or just chill out a little bit. Something that doesn't require me to be fully intensively awake all the time.
Yep, it's all supernatural.
This map again, where's my new map? Okay, same opponent, same matchup it looks like. What do we want here? You know, Nano Shield and Lifeline's fun. Stasis and Plink, just try and push things early. I like Stasis and Plink, let's try something different. We always do the same stuff, so... Ooh, there's an 11 spot. Maybe I was wrong before. Oh, there we go. GG. Game's over. Got that turn 1, baby.
This will be over real quick.
So this is going to be a lot of a different game. There's a much better chance of us dealing with things early on. Especially if we can get a good line of sight. Okay, so there's down to us, but honestly, I think we just come over here, shoot Exterior a couple of times, move back this way, plink.
What have we got here?
We can't get a good line of sight onto him or really onto Antios, so I'm actually just going to move over this way, bring the whole game with us in this direction, and honestly, I think I just play Rickety again. Actually, no, let's not go Rickety. Let's go Deadeye and play it safe. Rickety can be relevant later on. We maybe want to stun something in a future turn, so if we stun them and then on that turn play Rickety, I think that gives us a much better shot. So they've got second wind, so they've got Force Cinder here. This could be... What's Force Cinder in big? I mean, it could be 2 for Beatrice and just something else as well. Is Beatrice something like... Yeah, there we go, that's Beatrice. I'm trying to think what else they'd be playing here. So, Tire Arsenal. Nice. So they don't have any ranged units here, so that's actually not the most efficient use of Cinder there. But what we're going to do... Ooh, interesting. So if they're coming at us in this direction, we can just move over here and ignore Antios, basically. Well, that was close. I nearly moved without doing anything. So let's pop over here, get a couple of shots off. And just... I guess here, probably just move backwards. So we can't get line of sight onto them there, which is perfectly fine. The question is, do we want to try and get line of sight onto them? Not really. Yeah, that doesn't matter that much. Move over here, just try and push back slightly.
Still looks cool.
Of course. So now let's place a Rickety over here. Because it still gives us access to Quetzalcoatl next turn if we need to. And we can just go in for that 6 damage. Is this going to be disrupting? Orbiting. Okay. So this is the perfect example of what most people do with Orbital when they start. And that is just place it right up in the opponent, right on top of all their units. Whereas what's actually more efficient is to just place it where they're going to want to end their turn, not where their turn starts. So I do this all the time. If I take Orbital, I actually like Orbital I think more than most people do, because I love being able to control the movement side of the game. Please move there. Okay, so again, this is our opponent, I think probably not necessarily respecting the damage that can be put out by some of our units. And also, Corrosive isn't going to do anything here apart from if they have Scatter Vines. So, this is obviously just a new opponent. It's not something that, you know, feels good to try and take out someone that's new, but this is going to be a very difficult turn for them to come back from. So normally I'd actually go here and try and hit both units, but I actually think it's probably better here just to go here to give better line of sight to our Zax and Deadeye. So we're just going to go for all the damage we can get here. We did get the explosion. Turns out Rickety still remembers how to explode. Get as close as possible for these hits. So we've got an 85% there, but we can just move over here and get an even better one. 96. And for style points, let's get a Plink. What is it? It's a boomerang fish from Subnautica. There we go. The boomerang Plink. Also, we're up to 5 viewers, so I want to say thank you to everyone who's joined us in the last few minutes. If anyone's got anything that they want to see, please let... Ooh, we leveled up Zax. Please let me know what you would be interested in seeing, because... Hey, Spooky, welcome back. We're just doing whatever we feel like, but if anyone's got something they'd particularly like to see, especially if you're new to Moonbreaker, I'll probably carry on doing PvP for a little bit if that's what people are interested in. We've got Cargo Run, which is the PvE mode. We've got Painting, or we could just do whatever we feel like. So if anyone's got any suggestions, especially if you're new to Moonbreaker, or even if you haven't got the game, let me know, and I'm happy to pick that up where we left off. I will just keep doing some PvP until we find, either ourselves running out of steam mentally, or if someone in the chat's got a suggestion as well. So I'm very open to any suggestions, and also to any criticism. Jester is probably going to be telling me a few times that I've missed lethal, which is most likely going to be correct. So feel free to do exactly the same. Let me know if you think I've made any misplays, but most importantly, just enjoy yourself. We're here for a pretty chilled atmosphere, quite upbeat, happy, enjoy ourselves. That's all we're really here for at the end of the day, is just to have some fun. Look, Jester, you can't just tell people how distracted you are by my beautiful face. It's not appropriate for public discussion, I know I'm a beautiful human being, but if that's distracting you, you need to just say, get a bit of focus. It's a public forum, come on. I mean, I need to give this a little bit of a trim, neaten up a little bit, but it could be worse. Speaking of trim, the last time I got a haircut, I got a beard trim because I'm getting married next year, so I had to figure out what haircut and what beard style I want for my wedding, and I'd never even thought that I'd want that. That I'd need to consider that in advance. I'd always just thought, oh, I have my hair as my hair, but now that I've got a beard, I need to actually make sure it looks neat and tidy and presentable. I need to look good to actually get married. I want those photos to look great. And also, I think oh no, I can't do anything the night before. I have to be a couple of days before, at least, for my neck, because otherwise I get razor rash, and I'll just turn up to my wedding with a bright red neck. It would not be the right option there. So hopefully we get another game soon. If we don't, we'll pop in to do a cargo run. They are very enjoyable PvE. Oh no, absolutely. Hey, Antlion Man, very nice to see you. Welcome into the chat again. If you've, like I said, you got any suggestions, pop them in the chat. Let me know what you'd want to see, be it a PvP list, cargo run, painting, anything you like, or even you just want to take the mick out of me and tell me I'm doing a shocking job. Always happy to hear it. And honestly, just tell me how you guys are all finding Moonbreaker. I know I've got a couple of decent bits of understanding from Spooky and Jester, who I think are at opposite ends of the scale. So Spooky is one of the newest players that we've got, although I say newest. Spooky told me earlier that you've played about 12 hours of Moonbreaker yesterday alone, whereas Jester is probably one of the most experienced. Jester has got twice the player level that I do, which is utterly ridiculous. I cannot believe how much player XP you get, so good job on that front as well. Okay, what have we got here? So we've got Vortex and Recall, but on this map I actually don't mind Orbital Strike. I know Vortex is the best, but let's just do something different. You're sad you can't level anymore. As your clown. I quite like that name. I actually said this before, is that I really feel like there needs to be something to work towards, because at the moment I find myself thinking, because I've completed the season pass and the only thing I've got is player level and unit XP level, I don't really feel like I've got much that I'm working towards other than a couple of things here and there, and it's none of the major ones. The only things I'm actually really interested in are the rewards for hitting level 10 with a unit. So I'm not going to be hitting level 10 with anything very soon, because I play literally every single thing I can get my hands on. So I'm not really sure where to go from here with unlockables and that sort of thing, but it's all good. I'm still very much enjoying the game. Oh, we have got a potential... Oh. I was going to say we've got a potential shot, but it is still 0%. But yeah, a level 200 max will be fine, but it needs to have a purpose. And we do need more ways of earning sparks. So the PvP games probably need to give a spark income as well. I think that's the right route to move for them, because if they go down here, we're just going to spend forever walking around. They probably should be focusing this side of the map, but what we're probably going to do is try and do the opposite. So, I mean, do we just stim burst here? No, I'm going to save the stim burst for my rickety turn. I'm just going to try and chip a couple of points off the exterior here.
Hey!
There we go. Ooh, the crit.
I make this look pretty.
That's 0. I actually think here we maybe even just take a normal shot.
Still got it.
Try and go for that. Ooh, that was good. Okay, so
Now we're talking.
we are going to go for the Rickety and Taria placements here. And the way we're going to place it, we're going to place Taria here so
It's
that
fine.
it just leaves us that little bit of a gap around Rickety, so that if they try and pull something, it's not Rickety that ends up on the front line. Because this could be a very, very quick win if our opponent doesn't pick things up from here. And what we're also going to do is, if they're running towards us, we're going to just place Orbital Strike down where they're going to want to go, and it's going to make it very difficult for them to come towards us without taking a ton of damage. So, as it stands here, Rickety can only get this far, which doesn't seem like much at all. Also, why is this little divot here? I don't understand that. Surely... Oh, is it because this little bit of the terrain's poking out and it can't quite get past that? Okay, that makes sense. But yeah, I'm expecting them to move towards us most likely, and that's absolutely the wrong choice. But what it leaves us the option of doing is then putting an Orbital Strike. If they run backwards, we can start running backwards and put it behind them. This is fine. Like, that's a sad disruptor because it's just out of range, but there's a good chance that we could actually, pop in here. Yeah. Honestly, I actually think that's the right choice from our opponent. It's very unlikely that they can win from there. Hello again. How you doing, mate? Nice to see you. Like, 2 days in a row is this? That's pretty good. I'm happy with that. Oh, Rickety's getting close. Do you know what we should do, actually? For the meantime, rather than playing competitive lists on here, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my portraits list, which is here. So I'm going to make some changes to this first, because this makes me hurt myself inside with how much melee there is. But let's have a look and see what portraits we still need, and how we can make the best list possible. So this is a genuine challenge for Jester as well, and other people who understand the game. Well, so Thomas, it's not hugely regularly. I'm trying to make it more regular. Most of my content has actually been going over on YouTube, so I've been uploading daily YouTube content at Underhaul Gaming, and so I've been daily Moonbreaker content every single opportunity I can do. And honestly, I've been having a great time doing it. It's been keeping me sane during other times, so the streaming is just as and when I can fit it in. But what I'm going to do is, in this one, I'm going to try and make a list of units, as many as possible that have very low usage in my roster. So I want to try and make one so I unlock more character portraits. So I'm going to go Portrait 2. Portrait 2. The good news is that because we've now got the Extilior portrait in our video earlier today, even though I love the model. In fact, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to change my Astra skin, because I keep forgetting. I don't care for that paint job at all. We don't want the default paint job. We want our Iron Man Astra. Or Iron Heart. There we go. I just painted straight across it. What a spanner. There we go. So this is our Iron Heart Astra. I've tried to put like the little boosters in the boots and things like that. I have forgotten to change this for probably the best part of a week. I still need to do something with the banner. I'm not quite sure what to do. I could just dry brush it with something, I guess. You know what? Let's just dry brush it with steel and see what happens. I'm curious as to how that would work out. It gives it a bit of a sheen. That's not too bad. I'm okay with that. It looks like silk now. We've got a silk banner. Yeah, so Spooky, this is the Founders Pack Astra. So this is what the skin that you get. So the base version is this. I will save that. I'm going to change that flag at some point. But so this is the second version of Astra that you get with the base scheme as well. So this is Astra and Servidor. Designing banners. So the question for you is, do you mean these banners or do you mean roster banners? Because we could go through and update all the roster banners you want. What I was actually hoping to do with this one is, when I'm feeling like I've got a bit of a steadier hand, was popping here and putting the A for the Avengers over the top of this. Because if you paint that a flat colour, it doesn't stand out very much. So I was trying to get the Avengers A on top of there as well to make that a nice little finishing touch. But that's something that's going to take me more time than anyone else because I am incompetent at painting and do not have a steady hand. So that is not going to be the dream. Also, I know it looks really like bad close up, but this little area here, this is the shape that's on the Hulkbuster Iron Man suit. So I actually like put that in here because I feel like this looks more like the Hulkbuster than any of the other Iron Man suits. So yeah, that's what I was trying to do. What level's Astra? Astra's level 4, close to 5. What about Zax? Zax is level 5. Extilio's just hit level 3, so I think the next one is probably going to be Zax because he actually gets an upgrade next. So when he gets to level 6, we actually get a rarity upgrade, which would be nice. So we're going to do this roster using Zax, and we're going to look for people who have got the lowest level. So, oh my goodness, this already feels terrible. Just to point that out, looking at the options I've got, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to immediately switch this over to Astra. Oh, am I? So I have to decide, basically, do I want more attack power or do I want a better curve? And I think we're just going to go with more attack power and try and just play the bad units. This is such bad use. Maybe we're just playing a turn 2 Aria every game. Maybe that's our game plan every single time. Oh my goodness, these are... So Axel Pyro is the one we've got at level 3, right? Yes, so that's the beginning of level 3, so it's anything above Axel Pyro can be in our list. So I guess we've got Antios in there. He's gonna level up super quickly, so we can't hold out hope for that. Scattervine is probably near there as well. Who else is even worth playing? Like, Detonia is actually not that bad. Like, Detonia genuinely can have some contribution to a list. The other question, I suppose, is who's close to leveling up. Crosshair must be close-ish. Oh, Crosshair is leveled up. So is it Snarling is the last one that's not? Yeah, so Snarling's close, so we'll put Snarling in there. How's Savria looking? I'm trying to practice... Yeah, Savria can go in. I'm trying to practice saying Savria instead of Savria because I listened to the audio drama. Thomas, in case you're wondering, this game genuinely does have a little sort of voice-acted audio dramas, kind of like a space version of The Archers, like a little soap opera. But there's 3 half-hour to 40-minute episodes each. Oh, Spooky, what did you think? Because I wasn't expecting to think the story was good, and it turns out it's actually great. And genuinely, so all of them are also available free on things like Spotify. So anyone that's wanting to consider it, you can actually just pop into Spotify and get access to the story for free. That's exactly what I do. So this is our Portrait 2 list. It is terrible, but we're going to go into PvP. Hopefully we might even come against some streamers, if Bricky's still streaming or something like that. And that way we're not going to play against them with an actual tier list. We're going to play against them with something that's just pretty chilled out, just trying to get some things like that. Honestly, so if you look Moonbreaker up on Spotify, there's the stories so far is one for each of the captains. So I expected to like Zax's story the most. Extilio, so Zax is basically, he's a hologram of himself. He got blown up and his consciousness got transferred to a hologram, so he's a dead hologram ghost hybrid thing. And he's also like he reminds me, out of Magic the Gathering, he reminds me of Dak Faden. So he's basically like a Dak Faden smuggler who's trapped in a hologram. Extilio is a deathbot who's been programmed to do nothing but kill, who has found consciousness and is then trying to live his life according to a code of chivalry. He, however, still is only really good at one thing, and that is killing things. So he tries to do his job without killing people, but when someone crosses his path, he's like, well, I don't enjoy killing, but I am very good at it. And the last one is Astra, who is the 12-year-old daughter of a military admiral. And honestly, I thought hers was going to be like my least favourite. I was expecting her to be a little bit whiny, or maybe a little bit like a sort of a spoilt brat kind of thing. And it turns out, if you took my expectations of like 1, 2, 3, you actually have to flip it completely. Astra's was my favourite story, and while Zax, I still love the character, out of the 3 stories, was my least favourite of them. but it's really fun seeing your favourite characters from the game, or hearing them rather, like voice acted. And also the game's got some really good voice actors as well, so some of them are apparently quite well known. A lot of people talk about Matt Mercer. I'm not particularly familiar with him. I don't know many other things that he's done, but I know he was on Critical Role on YouTube, and loads of people are really like big fans of that and love his voice. And he plays Zax, the hologram guy. And then there's a couple of there's a couple of characters called DB and Recoil, who are basically just like thugs that ride on the back of a ship and shoot things, and one drives and the other shoots. And they're played by the same guy that played, I think it was Soldier 76 in Overwatch. And so there's a few like actual, fairly well-known voice actors in this as well, and they're all just so well put together. Admittedly, my favourite voice acting in the whole game so far comes from one of the cargo run bosses, who aren't even in the actual main part of the game. They're in like a side mode, and it's utterly ridiculous because I am the right player, but there's a unit called Laser Squad, and I love Laser Squad. Let's just take Escape Hatch, it's free stuff. But this is the spawn point, right? So if you're playing Extilior on this map, no joke, because Extilior now moves faster than the other captains, you can actually deploy onto the enemy captain on turn 1. So this is absolutely the game where we play Antios turn 1 and just try and run at them. Like, you can literally deploy onto their captain on turn 1. It's ridiculously... This is the shortest rush distance in the game. Extilior can move up and plonk a unit touching the enemy base. But, there's this unit called Laser Squad, and it's basically 3 robots that have got, like, a cult-like mentality towards lasers. I don't know how else to describe it. That's literally all I can think of to say... Laser Squad are a cult who like lasers. So I can't hear that, so we might as well go for 50-50-ish to try and kill this. No, missed. So they're actually going to play something quite threatening, I imagine.
Control your impact.
We need to... Sometimes it's so tempting to play Scattermine, but we're going to play Teutonia in this direction, because if we need to, we can just throw something over, or we could wait and play something bigger, but... Let's be honest, we didn't put much bigger in our list because we're just trying to get portraits. So I feel better playing lists like this when there's a lot of new players around, because I don't feel guilty anymore. I don't want to be turning up and just stomping new players. That's not me as a person. So 3-Player Politics in the chat knows me IRL and knows that I am much more about a fun gaming experience than I am about being super spiky. Unless you're playing me in a Magic the Gathering draft. But most of the time I'm still trying to win with something ridiculous. Ooh, okay, they're charging something. What are they charging? Charging Snarling. Okay, Snarling onto Antios. Oh, that miss is brutal. So, now they can't move. Have they got pink? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so, what we're going to do here, we need to try and start dealing with it. I mean, that already played. Okay, so, what do we do? I mean, we could actually potentially try and steal the Cinder if we're so far behind. I don't understand how Astra's moving further. Oh, it's because she can jump over the terrain, so she's just got that little bit extra value out there. So we might as well shoot this here. We did hit it. So we can play some things out. We can get... Okay, we can get into melee range there. If we had one more Cinder, I'd feel a lot better about that, because we could both activate this to give it plus additional attack and activate this as well, so do multiple. We can hit that if we need to. The question is, can we hit both?
Let's add some texture.
We can, so that might almost be worth it, and just move into range here.
An elegant, smoky finish.
Try and move to the right as far as we can to try and trap this slightly against the wall. Oh. Oh, I did it again. Yeah, kill you. So, Thomas, my saddest moment in recent history... Oh, please move. Please play this side of me. This side, this side, this side. My saddest moment... I played a Brothers War draft, and So I haven't been playing much Magic recently, but I failed to kill my opponent because I misclicked when activating... I think, is it called the Everywhere Flask or something like that? and it's basically a thing that turns all of your lands into one colour. And I didn't even need to activate it, and I thought, oh well, I've activated it. I'll just, I'll pick green because it's the only spell I've got, and I somehow just hit blue instead. And that was on the turn where I'd have got enough life total from casting one green spell that I would have actually got it to cast. To use Aetherflux Reservoir for lethal on that turn. So I missed the opportunity to Aetherflux Reservoir someone in draft because I misclicked. Might be the saddest thing that's ever happened to another player of Magic. So that it was so sad. I didn't want that to be the case, but it's exactly what happened. I nearly beat people another time. Okay. So we don't need all this in. I'm actually going to throw my own captain here just to keep up a bit. So I take a damage, but now I'm back in the fight a bit more. Do we have anything here we can? Yeah. So this is a good lob explosive. If we have another unit to drop, yeah, that goes well. So we could go for the 50-50 here, which actually would kill the unit, or the 85 that doesn't. I'm going to go for the kill the unit attempt. Of course we miss. Oh, I haven't even moved yet. Oops. Today has not been my day in terms of playing this game. What I'm going to do, I'm going to run up with my Scattervine. So this isn't a good play, but what I want to do is stop them running away from me. I could hope for a crit. That would have been nice, but I think our opponent's doing really well here. They've held their own fairly well so far. They're keeping away from me nicely. Like, they've got an interesting list. I don't think they're hasting out a 4-drop. If this is Shrapnel, that would be good. Shrapnel is always good though. Oh, it's T-Poo. There you go. Oh, we're in so much trouble. I don't know actually how we deal with a big T-Poo ever. Like, I actually don't know. So every time T-Poo hits something, it gains It gains +1/+1 permanently. And this list doesn't really have the tools to deal with an 8 health unit very quickly. Like, this guy's stuck at the back. Oh, and if you look, it's a fish from Subnautica.
Your efforts are...
It's a boomerang. But yeah, so we've... I actually think we're in significant amounts of trouble in this list. I don't think we've got any chance whatsoever. We're stunned again here. I think this opponent's got us quite easily. I'm not giving up. That's no fun. But I'm still going to deploy some units and have a good time. But
drinks just come right through me.
Let's go for this. And what we're going to do is start trying to move the game in a different direction. Part of that is going to involve blocking their movement off. So now they can't actually get into melee range of us. So we're trying to basically move the game backwards, because initially we had range. We had melee units and they had ranged. Now it's mostly changed to them having range, so them having melee units and us having range. So while we were chasing them down the first couple of turns, we're actually now going to be kiting back from them instead, because why would everything not completely change every couple of turns? You know, it's completely reasonable. So they're fully a unit ahead of us, about to be 2, because there's nothing we can do to stop Antios really dying here, apart from hoping that they miss. But yeah, so T-Poo not being able to get in range of us is a big deal. We need him to not kill us. The problem is, I don't know how we actually do anything about it. If this is a Beatrice, we're in so much trouble. If it's a turret, I'm okay with that.
Nice.
Oh, we're in even more trouble. It's Quetzali. Quetzali is going to run at us, eat us in the face. Going to make T-Poo run at us, eat us in the face, and just grow and grow and grow. If anyone ever saw, what was it, Power Rangers? With, I think it was Rita Repulsa. She's like, make my creature grow. This is what's happening here. This T-Poo is going to be unkillable. Like, I'm actually not sure, completely seriously, how we deal with that at all, other than hoping that they miss. So this is going to have to be just a run away, shoot, run up here. In fact, if we can get as close as we can this way, maybe we can pull them backwards. It's not even going to push them backwards very far. Can we get into range with this? No. Yeah, so we're just going to be relying on them missing here. Nothing else can even get in range. So we'll still run forward with this guy. Owen is
Wise
not
men don't
9.
judge, they punch.
I'm pretty sure you just lied to me. Like, Owen can't be 9. Like, at all. Pretty sure that's just wrong. You should know the age of your own son. Come on.
Look alive, stay alive.
Let's try and block up a bit more of this, so some things might not be able to get to us.
Cool.
Maybe let's try blocking Tipu. No!
It's more scared
She's
of
10
you.
months old!
Breaking records. And,
How's she doing? I haven't actually spoken to you in ages. It feels like... No, don't be in melee range. Oh, he might be able to hit that.
Even the oldest man has vision.
Yeah, how's Rosa doing? I'd love to hear. In fact, I'd love to see you, man. It's been so long. I feel like we actually haven't seen each other in a very long time. Oh, please tell me they can't get snaring. Or in fact, the fact they hit it once means that the double strike is actually irrelevant. So they've just wasted some cinder here. Oh, brilliant! Oh no, they've got lifeline. They're gonna lifeline. This is not the right world for this for this setup. Also, welcome to the last couple of viewers who got joining us. Really glad to have you here. What I'd love to say is, if any of you happen to have a spare Twitch Prime subscription, it really does mean the world. But more importantly, I'd love it if you had some questions about Moonbreaker. So, Moonbreaker is such a fantastic game. It's a tabletop miniatures game, but you can actually paint your own models and you can build your own list and sort of see how things go. I'm trying to see who I've actually got painted on this list. It's likely not to be many because this is a list specifically of characters that I haven't used very much. Oh my god, if Snareling lives, I can stun Tipu for a turn, and I might be able to kill it. But the only model I've actually painted on my list is 2 of them actually. So this is my Captain Zax, and I've painted him as a monochrome character. And I don't know why, but it took my fancy and I wanted to make him black and white. The only other one that I've painted is Savria. So this Savria, it doesn't look quite as good in this version. You can go into the proper viewer to see it. This took me 7 hours to paint, and it's for a competition entry, and it's her being like corrupted by the staff and lava and all that sort of thing. So I absolutely love it. It's fantastic in my opinion. Okay. Oh, so my Snareling is immobile from their Snareling.
Drinks just
Always
come
good to
right
know.
through me.
So let's just try and end this.
Try these
Because
goggles of
Savria can come
salvation.
here. We need to not miss these shots. Yeah, there we go. So we're close enough to not miss it. So Tipu's gone. I actually think we need to pull these in together.
Friends forever.
Oh, Tom, thank you so... Wait, you gifted us... Thomas, you don't have to spend real money, you spanner. That's so generous. Thank you so much. Like, you are the most wonderful person.
What's the hurry?
Oh, thank you so much. Toss this. Okay, what am I doing?
No glove.
Oh, I can move.
No love.
Let's stick a crankbait in the way and try and make a big wall. But yeah, honestly, I'm so happy to be playing this game. It's so much fun. Anyone who's actually got something they want to let me know, feel free to do so. I'm trying to see if I can log into Discord on my phone, Spooky, and see what you've mentioned there.
Rise and shine.
Let's get you loose and juicy.
So is that a list that you want me to play, or is that a list that you've been playing, or what is it we're looking at there? If that's a list that you'll be interested in seeing me play, because I know that's the one that you've been building, but no, I know it is. I know that's the list that you've been building, but if it's something that you want me to play, absolutely. If not, I can keep playing this sort of thing and trying to just do the best we can with a bad list, which is absolutely what I'm enjoying at the moment. So the question is, can we deal with these things? They might have forgotten about our Antios. Oh, their Snareling is hitting so much. I'll have a look at the list properly and give you some feedback on it when I get a chance. But yeah, their Snareling is hitting an unreasonable amount. And our crankbait's dead, so there's nothing we can do about that.
No
So
accident.
let's start shield barrying.
To the
things.
safety zone.
just look like you're thinking.
No, absolutely. I'm always happy to see new lists and that sort of things and what people have come up with. It's very interesting to know.
Consider that
Yeah, big
my
crit.
autograph.
So it's getting blocked with a sleeper mine here, and I'm not going all the way up because I want to be able to use
No more
a couple of things over here. So we can toss our mine, but that doesn't do very much. So let's just bring Arya in, get some stillness going on.
Their vision is based on movement.
Okay.
Wise men don't
Antios can move
they
back.
punch.
In fact, can we get in range to
Breaking
gravity
records
disc
and
this way?
hearts.
Can. So that actually means we've got a use for our Cinder here, because we can inner energy
Says you cannot punch down.
and actually start poking at Quetzali as well.
Think you've got something?
And
Can't
then
rush an artist.
I guess we can toss it even further back, make it even harder for him to get it when I need it.
Every hope and dream.
Yeah. This isn't the worst. Like, we've still lost this, especially when they've got a plink. It's very unlikely that we can do all this, but yeah. So now Macquarie Thicket's going to be able to take something down. But the good news is they have to have something else to follow it up to actually kill it. So whatever they choose here, yeah, so this is probably the right choice. But we get them down to 1. If Snarling can't damage it, Blink doesn't damage it because I've got armour. Awesome. Yeah, this is going well.
Onward, Berg!
Yeah, if they attack here again, okay, they've got to introduce their last unit. It is Antios, so Antios can do this if they spend the Cinder to do so. Yeah, there we go.
Strength from outer strength.
But now, we can actually start trying to pick things off, I think. Like, we're not in a good spot by any means.
Feel that
Please miss. Miss. Oh, I did think that was going to hit, but... So the question is here is, do we have to try and go for the captain, or do we have to try and go for the crew? I think, given that their crew actually present a lot of damage, we probably need to actually just try and keep finding the way there. Okay, so, yep, they're going for the Cinder Orbs.
This moon's talking to me.
Okay, so what can we try and take out here? So Savria can be the one that
Guard
takes
your
out
soft parts.
Macquarie Thicket, which is going to have to be the case here. So you don't need to protect anything with her. So the next option is how we can take out their Quetzali, because Quetzali probably has to be the thing that dies next, and we have to rely on some misses from the rest of their units. So then Arya's going to come in here to finish that off. We're going to shield barrier. Yeah, don't worry, everything in this whole area is getting hit by the assist. So Arya's getting the ignore next damage. There's not really much we want to do here other than that. Hey, what? What? Oh, did I not stillness? Oh, I didn't stillness. Oops. That was a pretty big mistake. That's actually possibly going to cost me the game.
Right through me.
So to make this a little bit easier, we're going to stick some sleeper mines here to make it harder for them to get to us. And honestly, let's just gravity disc this so they lose the Cinder. I don't think they've got anything for it. We might as well stillness now, even though that was a mistake. It was a pretty big misplay on my part. Because this should be dead, and with this dead, these things can't get all the way to my backline. So that was actually a pretty big error there. So hopefully we're going to be able to correct that and move forwards from this point. So they only have to hit with this is the issue. So if they hit Savria, or Savria, I need to keep saying it right, Savria, then that's awkward, but it's not the end of the world. She is also the only one that currently takes damage. Okay, they missed, that's good.
Wakey, wakey!
Yeah, we can just place some Cinder Orbs. And now it depends on what they do here, because this should be dead. It's really frustrating that it's not, because now this gives them all the options of getting into range of us.
Inaction.
Yeah, so they can do a 4 damage to our captain, it looks like. Yeah.
Oh, that hurt my
But
feelings.
we do technically have enough to finish this off on the backswing, and we might be able to block off Crosshair for next turn. The question is, we're not going to be able to deal with Quetzali if we do so, so this is going to be hard. We need to start taking damage off the board here is the problem. Yeah, so we're going to have to take these hits. Blink, yeah. But now what we're going to have to do is start hiding behind the cover and trying to shoot this away. So we can do it. We're
Breaking
gonna
records and hearts.
sleep a mine just here. Like, they can use Quetzali to move into good range of things, but we are in melee range, so we do have to move back, and this is where we're going to want to end up. So
Handsome.
taking 90%. This should be 100.
Mask
Yeah.
really draws the eye.
Savria can move over here because this should still be in range to protect.
Styles
That.
just puts
I'll
us
hit here.
everywhere.
Is there anything that needs to be done on these? I actually think yes. I think we still just need to move this direction.
Need a moment to
Gravity
take
disc
all
anything?
this in.
No, we'll save that. We don't have any use for that yet. So this is a really interesting finish to the game because it's all going to come down to positioning and whether we can take out their damage before they can take out ours. With them having lifeline though, it means that our best bet is actually to deal 2 damage to Crosshair and then the following turn trying to deal 6 damage. Because if we can't deal 8 damage in a turn, we can't actually kill Crosshair. Now looking at this, there is a world in which we can deal 8 damage this turn. They just need to miss with Snareling. Or actually no. Yeah, they do need to miss. Okay, they hit there. So is there now a world in which we can do it? It might be the case that we actually have to... Oh, I don't know.
They'll hate
Yeah.
this.
Okay, using Lifeline there is big for us. Do we want that to be the case? Okay, so now we're going to just...
Records and hearts.
We're going to move into here. We can see if there's a world we can gravity disc these two together. There is. And the further this way, the better. So let's go with that.
Meet and greet.
Okay. Have I just blocked my own line of sight? No, I haven't. Good.
Safety's no
So-
accident.
Saria. Shield
Can't
barrier
hurt,
herself.
right?
Get this hit. Arya cannot move.
Die? No more
So she's
happy
going to need
hours.
to stillness, I believe. Because there's nothing else to do.
Feel-
Can she hit Astra, or does she have to just go Snareling? She's just going to hit Snareling.
Wanna have a chance?
Zax can just shoot here. And place a sleeper mine. Can't even sleeper mine where we want to. Do you know what I'm going to place this sleeper mine here so that it makes it harder for them to use line of sight to hit. This end.
Cool under pressure.
That's everything we can do. We're not out of this yet, but them using Lifeline there was a really, really big deal. And us having, Ion Storm back next turn, I think we might have this. I think we've come back from a position where I don't think we could have won to one where I actually don't know, depending on the next couple of turns, I don't know if we could lose. Especially if we can keep Savria alive. They need to try and stun things that you really shouldn't be able to be
That's hard
stunned.
enough.
If they place a Cinder Orb down here, is interesting as well, because a Cinder Orb here doesn't actually stop us, because we can use Gravity Disc to pull it out of the way.
The
Yep, you can blink that all you like.
toy.
That's fine. Crosshair has already moved is the important part here. So we can actually deal with this. Second wind doesn't matter. I think we've got this. Like, we might lose Arya. So, I didn't shield Arya because there's nothing here realistically that's going to be dealing with Arya this turn. So, like, Arya is going to be taking one pretty much no matter what. Unless they crit. I mean, I was basically banking on them not getting a crit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try this. Let's try the 86% shot. Okay, that's what we wanted. So now what we're going to do is go back and shield Arya, because there's nothing else to really worry about here. We've got all the damage in the world. We can start shielding anything we want. So we can just pop back here. Oh. Okay, we have got Gravity Disc. So Gravity Disc in this direction. That was so bad. Alright, heal barrier area this time.
Quick, in the bubble.
Go for damage here. I forgot to stillness again. I don't even know if there's anything else worth doing. We might as well stillness because we're going to do it next turn.
Their vision is based on
What's
We'll
the
pop a sleep
hurry?
mine up here. There you go. Yeah, at least I had grab. I forgot it needed line of sight. I always forget that with Savria. her ability does require line of sight, but it doesn't tell you that here. So I forget this all the time. So basically what I'm going to do here is probably just ignore snaring, or just kill it and then turn around. Because either way, it doesn't matter too much. They do have blink, but yeah, lines. Like, I think our opponents realised it, that we were actually in a really good spot there. I think abilities just need to say if they need line of sight. It would be a really big deal. Ooh, Antios levels up. Come on. Yeah, we're only one away from snarling. Oh, thank you, Thomas. Honestly, like, genuinely, drop me a Facebook message as well, by the way, because if there's any time that you've got off in the daytime coming up anytime soon, I'm currently off work, so I'd be more than happy to come over and see you and Rosa, and I still cannot believe the things you've been telling me earlier on. Like, it's actually terrifying that Owen's that old. Like, I just had to go back and double check, because my brain was like, it's Owen, isn't it? It is Owen? My brain forgot your son's name briefly then. Like, I wasn't trying to hide that fact, just to clarify. I was like, it is Owen, isn't it? It's like, it's not Oliver? Owen? No, it's Owen? And I was like, I'm going to scroll back up and make sure I don't just insult your child. I was like, luckily the one I had in my head was correct. I was like, I feel like a bad friend for a moment there. But I was like, yeah, I was like, I'm not going to just say the wrong name out loud. Right then, let's see what we want to do next. Let's go with... Do you know what? Let's pop into a cargo run. Let's do a cargo run. Let's do Astra. Astra doesn't get as much love as the others in cargo run, because Extilior I think people just really love, and Zax is really good, and I think Astra probably doesn't get quite as much love as either of the others do. So the aim of this is just to beat 5 increasingly difficult bosses. Master Telepi is, honestly, in my opinion, probably one of the hardest turn 1 opponents to come across. And I'm not even exaggerating, he's actually one of the hardest round 1 opponents, which is crazy. Can Astra move? Yeah, so I can always move on to my Cinder, because basically what he does, he makes little plants, and the plants can then just move and attack every turn. So, in fact, he could steal my Cinder here. I don't even think about it. But yeah, so these plants actually just, if they overwhelm you, there's nothing you can do. You just, like, sat here at your level 1 trying to figure out how to do it. What do we got here? Phosphor Chain, not bothered by that. It's quite good in this specific level because of what they do, but it's not something we particularly need. Axel Pyro is going to be the play here. Axel Pyro is legitimately good in this matchup, and grow some more plant, well, more Cinder. Basically, they're growing bodies, we're growing mana. Best way of explaining it. We're going to have more stuff. So we're going to have more mana, they're going to have more stuff. But the good thing about our little flamethrower is, unsurprisingly, flamethrowers are really good versus plants. So what they're going to do is it deals 2 damage to it, but then each plant takes an additional damage in the start of the next turn. So they're going to just be... Oh man, there's a Beatrice over there. Can I deploy onto it from here? No. First things first, I'm just going to deploy the orbital. So in most games you don't deploy orbital onto your units, onto enemy units, but here there's a very good chance that they just stay in it, especially if I use some of my Cinder to block them in place, which is exactly what I intend on doing. So I'm going to use this to set themselves backwards, so this one is dead and this is going to take a bit of damage. Give them all reduced accuracy, because I think they might be able to get into range this turn. And we're going to use this unit here to block things, so it's much harder for them to come out. I guess we've got 1 range damage left, we send it here. Perfect.
Teaching is its own reward.
Okay, let's see how this goes from here. Okay, yeah, so them moving out is absolutely what you'd expect from this. Like, the AI has apparently now been upgraded, so that it now no longer sits in the middle of AoEs. What I have noticed, though, is what it also does is deploy into the middle of AoEs. So I wouldn't be surprised to see them deploy a new unit into it, but they will move out of it if they start the turn in there. So it's at least a bonus on that front. Okay, so this could be another really good turn for our Pyro. So yeah, here they just shot themselves back into it and pushed our unit in.
We're burning time
There's
here.
a world where we might be able to hit both of these with our flamethrower here. We can, perfect. So that takes 2 of these plants out.
Huh. Both ends are pointy.
Look, leader
I
lead.
am going to move in this general direction. I'm kind of scared of their Torian, of their Antios, because he could potentially one-shot this unit. But more importantly, I want to get down here so I can try and... I still can't quite deploy over there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use our unit to block their unit into place. So they can't go where they want to. We can just shoot this. Grow some more cinder for next turn. A lot of the AI likes to go for these orbs as well, even if they don't need to. So this is good for us. Okay, so these are going to die. There's a good chance this just does 4 damage here, but it could also miss. Or they're just going to run at us. Running at us seems very likely here. Okay. So what's the game plan here?
Your first day will be scary.
More plants. This is a shock to me. I didn't think the plant... Also, the thing to bear in mind with this as well, the plant captain also gains extra health for each plant that's alive around it as well. So all of these are just healing our opponent every single turn. So we have to clear them out before we can do anything realistically. Okay, so we can get our enemy down here.
I'll make
If we
him
get
proud.
this, we can actually shoot it and then move again, which is always nice. So that gives us 6 cinder, and I think we do just play switchback, which is... So at the moment technically bugged, so not the most useful unit, but very good. And then we're going to pull in that this way for a Beatrice to protect us. I guess this goes here as well. And then we just hop back the other side.
Takes sweaty practice.
We need to keep our pyros safe, so we can't be just running it right the way in here. And Beatrice is actually going to be one of our better units against these, because she gives... Basically she deals damage in a line, so if we can get her into range, we're in a lot better spot.
Having the best
Okay,
time.
so this is basically just giving up this unit most of the time. Yeah, they deal 1 damage to it in exchange for probably losing their unit. Thomas, I'm really grateful for those gifted subs. Like, for the gifted sub and for the sub for yourself. It really does mean the world to me. Like, this has genuinely made me very, very happy. So thank you so much for that. And like I said, like, if you are free, drop me a Facebook message. I'd love to come and see you, Roseville, Owen, and Steph, of course. Like, I assume that one of you probably is working at any point in time, but if not, absolutely happy to see you. Okay, so what I'm trying to figure out here is, can I get in range to attack this direction? And I actually think maybe I can. So I might just try and do that. So I'm going to give all these reduced accuracy.
Take this.
And see if I can be greedy here. Because if I can get into range with this and this... Yeah, so this actually deals damage in a line. So we're actually going to deal damage to multiple units potentially. There we go. And then get a regular attack.
Wise men don't judge.
And hide
they
behind it
punish.
as well. So basically this is movable terrain in my opinion. But... So here we can use switch it up, which means that for this turn I basically attack twice. Do it here, get this down to 3, and use Axel Pyro to finish it off over 2 turns.
Let's see how you look.
And then here... is this burn? No, it's just been hit, so... Let's just move back here and take a pot shot against it, I think. 50-50, we could do it. We do. So I'm actually going to move into them. Daka, 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 exactly.
Even the oldest
Love a good bit
man
of
has
daka.
lists.
Yeah, I'm okay with passing. So you can actually save 3 cinder to your next turn as well. So I'm going to do that every single time. And what we've essentially done here is we've blocked them into our orbital strike. So they all have to move in this direction, and then we're just going to try and move over here, box them all into a corner, and then still use like AoE effects to try and take them out. It's going to be difficult still, because we have to kill more than 1 plant a turn, and most of our stuff doesn't deal that much damage. Yeah, okay, so that's going to die, which is good. That's going to die. This is going to take 3 damage. This is far better than it could be. So, I didn't actually realise that our own unit is going to take damage here. I placed that quite badly. That's pretty awkward itself. This needs to die, but luckily we saved a little trick for that. Can't believe I just let this go down. So let's use our little a little trick here. So we don't want to be too far away, so we'll move to here. Get into the breach, which lets you place a unit with haste. Toxoid has an ability called Poison, and what Poison does is when it damages a unit, it takes it down to 1. And with this, you can pop over there and just move back in this direction.
Got a fire in my heart.
This guy cannot actually hit anything useful, so I'm just going to try and use this guy's ability to take this out so I can save 1 mana if I need to. Yeah. This unit's going to run and hide because it's good and I don't want it dead. And we're just going to try and get some damage going here.
Wise men don't touch,
Nice big
they
crit.
punish.
We can't deploy anything because we've got too many units.
I'll make him
So I actually
proud.
do think we just... So this is Grow Cinder, and what it does is basically places a little orb that gives someone mana if they touch it. But this way we actually avoid having to
Roast
do
your
anything.
rations for you.
You know what, because we can't carry any more Cinder to next turn, we're just going to flame that way just to move slightly. This is such a hard first boss to come against. Like, we should have this now. They've only got 1 real unit, and then loads of these little plants, but... There isn't, like, they could actually kill either of these here, which is... I should not have put this here, actually, thinking of it. Because if he... Oh no, he doesn't have pummel. I thought this unit attacked twice, but it does that in late game sometimes, but not... Yeah, this is all fine.
Your first day will
For a plant, I assume. Plant runs away. Daka 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 daka. Also, yeah, these are the guys that are voiced by Soldier 76 from Overwatch, not the fence don't. Okay. Luckily we can kill this turn, but sometimes this is just the most awkward thing to deal with because it means everything in the game, in their little AoE, takes 1 less damage every single time. So we can just pop in here, shoot this, pop back in this direction.
This working?
So this guy can't get too many different things, so we're just going to pop here and flame in this direction to get these two. This guy can now attack twice again. He is bugged, so basically he can only attack twice every other turn. So in theory this should work. And we should be able to deal 6 here. Perfect.
Look, leaderly.
We haven't lost any units, so we can just pop this down here to make things awkward for them. And then we've got this whole mess.
You control your impact.
So funnily enough, we don't actually have enough movement speed for multiple things to get in there, but this one unit
Both ends are
has a
pointy.
chance of just moving in and hitting it.
Stay close to me.
And we just want to keep as many of them dead as possible. Ideally, we'd like this person to not be anywhere near the front because they're on low health. But we'll see. So next turn, we're very close to being able to kill the enemy captain. We still can't use double attack on this, so we can only realistically do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, so they're not going to quite be dead, but we're getting there. Also, when the opponent makes these plants, the plants can make more plants, so that's how this sort of takes over and starts very rapidly getting out of control. Yeah. Yeah, see, the plants are making more plants. So this is why we're going to send Beatrice down here to start dealing with these. In fact, this guy could just move here and flame possibly 4 of these and kill them in one go. This might be the best flamer I've ever seen. 5? No, don't let me still have movement. Yeah, I've still got movement. You can attack, that's fine. Maybe make 1. This might be the best one I've ever had. Come on. Can I get all of them? Yes, all of these are going to die this turn.
You look cold.
So that's 10, 15 damage it's going to be off of that unit alone. That's utterly absurd. So this can shoot over here.
Correction.
Funnily enough, it's actually probably correct to just... Actually, let's just ignore that and just keep attacking over here. I should have used this first. Fire! Can I get just the one? That's just a practice position, it's not actually the right play. We want things that run towards us to take explosies.
The power!
This can run slightly back and still shoot. So Astra's Cinder ability is really, really difficult to use. Like, you can use it to sort of block things and move on things, and it's all over the place, the stuff it can do. I think that was just out of range. No, I was hoping that was out of range. That was an absolute bad use of that. But basically, Astra's like Cinder ability or Cinder Orb is really useful in
Your heart beating fast too.
like the late game, like the very early game and the very late game, basically. Because in the very early game, it just gets you free stuff, and the very end game, it's just move blocking and running around and that sort of thing. So next turn, just a little domino effect there. Next turn, we should be able to kill here if they don't have any ways of getting health back. Hang on, what just... have we just won the round? Oh, I think our opponent's conceded. Yeah. You got paired against Bricky. Nice. Yeah, our opponent's just conceded that. Usually that happens if there's some sort of bug that's going to occur. So it's not normal for the AI to concede. However, the game was over anyway. We had that one solved, so... Normally it's just if the AI doesn't know how to proceed from a certain point, it will concede, which is, I'd say, better than the game just crashing and not counting as it's happened.
Simulation, gang.
So, we didn't get very much in the way of... Oh no. Okay, this is going to be... Okay, this is a good combination because we need to kill that unit. Where are some good crates? Furia or Aegis Sentinel? I mean,
They're counting on us.
sure. Let's go with Aegis Sentinel because this unit... in fact, can we attack? Do we have a good... 0%.
We got a lead.
Let's just play out Aegis Sentinel. Make them come through. We should have just done a few. You totally just played 4 or 5. I mean, again, this is your second day playing this game. Like, go easy on yourself, buddy. Okay, so now we can start moving up and shooting. What Dimmy and Snore does is, if they hit you, you are immobilized for 2 turns. 2! Just 1, 2.
You control your
I'm going to stay in this smoke, make it harder to hit. And pop good old Beatrice down here.
Watch them spread.
So this is actually a really good start, considering we haven't picked anything up. Like, yeah. The fact that they have to run away, like, this is going to be annoying, because we're going to have to move this direction. Oh my goodness, that crit.
Fancy hot pudding!
But it was a good try. Okay, so can we do anything
I'll
useful
make
here?
him proud.
Beatrice can't even move now because things are completely fair and balanced. No, this game isn't. This game mode is not meant to be fair and balanced. Just to clarify, it's meant to be stupid and fun, and that is exactly what it is. So we'll take this.
Your focus is feeble.
The best
Put that in
toys.
there, and then only does 3 damage. Can't quite deploy there. Let's deploy back here and see what we can do next turn. There's no point using the ability of this. This is just going to die. I don't like the Sentinel very much, but it's just useful to have occasionally. So we'll see how this goes. That was Stim Burst, so they're going to be running at us.
Like tears.
Yeah, Furia. Okay, so
One win, one bug.
Beatrice is dead, but nothing else is immobilized. So now might be... Don't really trap myself. Oh, for goodness sake. We're going to go for the big corrosive attack here and just try and damage the opponent. Can this get in range? No. So we're just going to go for everything we can into their captain. So here is the best line of sight. Backwards.
Let go with one hand.
Oh, we're slightly short here as well. So think here. So this is a good amount of damage. It's just not as much as I'd hoped. So we'll just have to hide in this for this turn, and we will deploy nothing. We'd rather save things for next turn. So we might be able to push this down quite quickly. I think this is going to be well, probably the last thing I'll do for tonight is just go for this cargo run, but it's a lot of fun. So we'll see how this see how it goes. Stimulating formula. Now the annoying thing is that's something that I really want. So what I'm going to look at doing is seeing if I can deploy onto it. yeah, so I need something to deploy there so I can into the breach. So I've got 8 cinder, so 1, 2. Right, so I can't do everything that I'd want to. But what I can do,
Get him, Ferg!
if I blink here,
Missed you.
if I move this direction, place something irrelevant over here. So this picks up stimulating formula. What that does is my units attack immediately when they go into melee range or something. So now if I give anti-escort that for attack, and I just pop over here, they attack immediately. Because he has first strike, there's no attack back. I can attack again and kill that unit. So that's a really solid way of ending that round, a lot quicker than we thought it would, and Axial Pyro goes all the way back up to 4 out of 5 health. 4 out of 6, sorry. So we're doing well. And then at the end, like I said, at the end of this run, we'll be calling it a day there. But it's actually been a really nice little evening stream. I've really enjoyed doing a chilled out Sunday night event. Okay, let's get into our round 3. I'm just going to reply to my fiance.
Even better than my journal.
Okay. We want to do Ecti Overcharge. Okay, so Ecti Overcharge is one that we want. Oh dear. Right, so we're going to go Plink and Stim Burst because we've got some abilities that require us to get into base contact, especially with this, and we need to do that ASAP.
Look, literally.
So this is a funny one because we can move up here, which gains us a bunch of cinder. We can use that cinder to place a Taurian Guardian down over here, just because it's the most cinder expensive thing that we've got, which gains us a bunch more cinder. We can then use that cinder to play Axial Pyro and Anti-Escape. Utterly ridiculous. That's a really, really ridiculous turn 1. And what it means is that they've already got minus 40% accuracy anyway. And if they shoot here, they get minus again. Oh my god. Okay, that's just not fair. Where's the other crate? There. Jailbreak. I don't care for Jailbreak very much, so let's just Stim Burst these. And try and get as much damage down as we can, as quickly as we can. And we'll pop into range here. Attack. Got our double attack. Astro can come over and shoot as well. Get Plink going. And we'll grow a cinder over here. So we would have liked to pick up the defense stone, but we're going to rely on the reduced accuracy on these to try and keep these alive this turn. So in theory, these should be like a 20% chance to hit. So I was going to say they probably go for Astra. Even then, that wasn't a good hit on them. So that's their Maximus, that's fine. Oh, their Maximus has charge. Of course he does. Absolutely fair and balanced. So that doesn't change too much here, it just means that...
Huh. Both ends are pointy.
How do we want to do this? I think we still just... use this here. Attack.
Look, literally.
Astra can move over here, get a defense dome, get good line of sight. We've got enough of Toxoid, but again, Toxoid doesn't do much. We'll flame at this. We should have tried to find a way to get back closer to there, because now there's a much better chance that we just die here. With Axial Pyro, not with anything. So what I'm going to try and do is see if there's a spot where I can place a Cinder Orb to entice them to come towards that instead of Axial Pyro. And just...
Roast your rations for you.
I can move to here, which might even put Axial Pyro as the... No, it didn't. I thought that might give me the target there. Okay, so they're probably going to try and kill something here. But with 8, they can go for almost... What is with the crits? I know they've got 30% extra, but they're missing everything and critting. Sorry, they're hitting everything fairly well, and then critting every time. Yeah. So we've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 damage so far. It's not the most. 10. What's this? Phosphor chain. Yeah. Glowing amulet. There we go. That's more like it. Right, let's Stim Burst all of these. Can we actually just place something there? Not quite. So we need to get line of sight onto Ecto Overcharge.
Come closer.
We're going to just deploy anything onto this whatsoever, because it doesn't really matter, because we just want it. I'm going to save our Cinder. Again, we're just going to accept that things are going to die. Because here we're going to move in and we're not actually going to attack the enemy captain, we're going to attack Stitchy. Because if we attack Stitchy, it dies next turn. And Ecto Overcharge might not anyway, because it's going to die to the burn. And now Astra can refresh her abilities and try and go somewhere even safer, but honestly, you could just go here, this will do. Just kill things without having to refresh it. We've wasted 1 damage there, but there you go. If they spend their turn shooting Astra for like 10 or whatever, it's absolutely fine, because next turn we're going to have 5 heal anyway. Yeah, so we should be good here. We just need to be able to get everything into range. Yep. All fine. Nice and easy. Pretty chilled. Also, welcome to anyone who has been just recently joining us. We're not going to be doing this for much longer, but I just wanted to say thank you for joining us regardless. It really does mean a lot to me. I'm definitely quite new to this, but I really do enjoy what we're doing here, so I'm going to be trying doing as much of it as possible. And we started a really good Astra run here where we could potentially deal a ton of damage. In fact, we could have actually healed 1 more health there, so that's a mistake on my part. Okay, so what we need is basically we now need to find attack buffs for Astra and things that make her abilities free. Or Heroic Amulet, that also works well. We've only got 2 games left, so it'll be very quick to get this finished off if it goes well. But the problem is we still haven't found the right buffs that we've needed yet, so let's see what we get and see how things go from here. Okay, we're against Range Hintang, and I think we were in opposite spawns, were we? Oh no, not quite. So... Iron Storm Nano Shield seems fine. Like, is this attack? Additional crit, that'll do. Yeah, let's just...
Get the jump on him.
We're just going to grow Cinder here so that we can collect both next turn. Yeah, that'll do. This way we get the extra crit, we get the Cinder, we get everything that we need to. Hey, we're up to 8 viewers. Welcome everyone who's just joined us. I'm really, really glad to have you here. So I'm just going to be finishing up this cargo run briefly. But if you know me already, or if you've seen my YouTube channel or anything like that, and you appreciate what we've been trying to do, I would absolutely love it if you could hit the subscribe button. It means a lot to me. It really, really does. And even if it's just Twitch Prime, it adds up massively. So I'd love it if you could. If not, hit the follow button. And if not, again, just enjoy yourself while you're here. We're here to have a nice, enjoyable time. So let's just see what we can do on that front. Got our crit. We need to refresh our abilities. We're going to move away again. Now we get another attack. So they are going to be able to get in range of us. They're going to deal a bunch of damage. And then next turn we're going to hopefully be able to kite away from here. If there's an interesting crate, we'll go that direction as well. Oh, I forgot. Oops. So I forgot we had Stimulating Formula. What Stimulating Formula does is means that when we become into contact something, we attack it. So we attacked them. They dealt 6 back to us, crit a couple of times. They then attacked us, dealt another 6, and also crit a few more times. So I think they actually got 3 crits in that exchange and took us from what I think it was like 16 or 18 down to 0 immediately. Absolutely no effect whatsoever. So that was absurd. I actually can't remember the last time I've lost a cargo run that out of the blue from what I was expecting. But that's absolutely what just happened. So, yeah, got blown apart. I guess that's the end of that. So, if any of you don't know already, this has been Moonbreaker. It's a fantastic tabletop miniatures game. I've had loads of fun playing it. I've got a YouTube channel, which is at Underhaul Gaming. I've got 86 YouTube videos as of today uploaded on this game. So, if you want to see anything more, pop over there, give it a check, hit the subscribe button. We're trying to get to 250 YouTube subs at the moment. If you've got spare Twitch Prime, again, send it my way. Always happy to receive some money that doesn't cost you anything, even better. Thomas, thank you so much for the subscriptions today. It's meant the world, and the cheering. I didn't forget the cheering. I've loved every minute of this. I want to thank everyone for coming in. It's been really, really great fun. I'm hopefully going to try and do this as often as possible. Unfortunately, I can't make it regular, but I will do my best to be as frequent as I can be. So, thank you very much for watching, and more importantly, have a good day.